Hello, everyone. Beverly here, and I help guide you in your spiritual journey. Hello, welcome. Welcome to this live stream where we will talk about your spiritual journey, spiritual awakening. How's everyone doing today? Hello, Mimi. Is that your name, Mimi? I had a friend named Mimi, actually. Hey, Alex. Welcome. So today I actually wanted to jump on live and talk about spiritual awakening, your spiritual journey. And if you are new here, welcome. I help people guide them through their spiritual journey. It's actually Moriah. Oh, cool. Beautiful name. Welcome, everyone. Today we are talking and discussing about a spiritual awakening, spiritual journey, and what that looks like for you and how that look different for everybody. Hi, Sean. Hey, Diane. Is anyone here going through is anyone here going through a spiritual awakening? Or think they might be going through a spiritual awakening? Best Mama, hello. So, I just wanted to talk a little bit about so I want to talk a little bit about a spiritual awakening and what that could look like. So, a spiritual awakening looks different for everybody, but here are some of the common symptoms that I've noticed. One, it feels like your life is falling apart. If it feels like your life is falling apart, you might be on a spiritual awakening. Two, you're going through a major breakup. You're going through a major big breakup, or you've lost your job for some reason. And four, you're very sensitive. You don't know why you're so sensitive, you're just very sensitive. And five, you are questioning life. You're questioning the meaning of life. You are questioning your purpose. You're asking questions like, what is my purpose? Why am I here? What is the meaning of life? If you're experiencing any of these common symptoms, you might be going through a spiritual awakening. Yeah. Yes, all. And I have to say, for me, I definitely went through all of them as well. And one of the reasons why you might be experiencing some of these things, such as, for example, like the fifth one, right, where you're questioning your life's purpose and the meaning of life, things of that nature, and it might feel like your life is falling apart. And the reason for that is because the life that you were living, it wasn't serving you for whatever reason. It wasn't serving you. Maybe it wasn't authentically you. But that life that you used to live, it wasn't serving you and it wasn't serving humanity in some way. And you go through an awakening, because another way you can say an awakening is that you were asleep. You're going through life without a purpose, without any meaning. You're going through life. And maybe you're even living like a unauthentic version of you. You're going through life, and the universe taps you a little bit and says, "Hey, maybe you're in the wrong direction." And then you might ignore it. You keep going with your life. And then it gives you a little bit more of a nudge, and a little bit more of a nudge, and then a little bit more. And then eventually, at some point, it wakes you up. It jerks and wakes you up. And it might do that through like a breakup. It might do that. It might happen through something traumatic. And it's because it's trying to wake you up, jolt you into this more divine, a divine path for you. something that's more authentically you, something that's more true to you. And it's also kind of waking you up because you might have been identified as an individual, as a person with all of your problems, as this small person. And the universe is waking you up and telling you, hey, actually, you're more powerful than you think you are. You your consciousness, you expand further than your body, and your sensitivity, maybe you're more intuitive than you actually think you are. And maybe you actually came here with a purpose, some sort of mission. Has anyone ever felt like they were born into the wrong family? Or they felt like they're not from here, they're not from this planet? Or have you ever felt like there was always something more for you? Have you ever felt like there was something more for you? Or yeah, or you might ask the question like, why am I here? You might even ask the questions like, why am I here? Absolutely, every day. And so right now you're going through what I would consider a transition. You're going from who you used to be and you're transitioning into you're going to be, which is a more enlightened spiritual version of you, who you truly are. And in this gap, okay, so this is where you used to be and this is where you're going. But in this gap, you might actually experience lost, the feeling of feeling lost, feeling stuck, feeling confused, feeling depressed, feeling anxious. You might feel some of these things in between this gap between where you were and where you're going. And part of the journey, part of the spiritual journey is to kind of embark on this path where yeah, you might feel stuck, you might feel lost, you might feel confused, you might even feel sensitive, but you embark on this path and sometimes it could be a very lonely path in the beginning. And it's because the universe wants you to start seeking and finding and opening. It's more of like an opening yourself up to who you truly are. And you might feel anxious and depressed even because you're shedding the things that used to identified with. And in that process you might lose friends, you might lose lovers, you might lose family members, you might even lose a career that you thought was the career for you. Can you go through an awakening more than once? I think overall it's a spiritual journey overall, but you can you can go through like an awakening and then fall back asleep. Another way of saying falling back asleep is like saying that you're in denial or you're procrastinating on healing yourself. You're procrastinating on doing the shadow work. So you can kind of fall back asleep by ignoring that you have to work on yourself. And because of that, yeah, you might go through another jerk. Jerk meaning like another wake up call. I lost family members. Yeah. Well, everyone keeps on saying that I'm here for a reason, but I will not believe it until I see it. I had those same feelings. I always felt like I was meant for something. I always knew that I had a purpose, but I did not know what it was. And you know why we don't know what it is? It's because we forgot. Like the moment we landed on this planet, the moment we like came into this life, we forgot. Or somewhere in our childhood, we forgot. And that's part of our mission. Like that's part of the task. That's part of the divine timing is to figure it out, to figure out what your mission, your purpose is. Yeah. So, yes, I was awake, but being with a narcissist put me to sleep. Yeah, and that could happen. That could happen. And that's why sometimes I have this feeling. I have this feeling that when you go through an awakening, I feel like it's more common that people go through some sort of breakup from like some sort of toxic relationship and they're single for a period of time. I think there's a reason why we're single for a period of time. And I think it's because the universe wants us to focus on ourselves and not be distracted, not be pulled back, not to be pulled back to fall asleep again. I mean, that's not always the case. I feel like you could be in a relationship if you're both going through that. But if I think that if one person is going through it and the other person is not going through it, I think I think it could be kind of tough. Yeah, we learn to love ourselves. Exactly. Exactly. I lost all my family because I decided to stay true. Yeah, and we learn ways to love ourselves, like boundaries, saying no, um, what we feel like we are worth, what we deserve. And sometimes in that process, we have to shed the people that don't serve us. I lost my husband, job, and friends, but I feel better for some reason. Yeah, do you feel lighter? But that original emptiness is gone. Mhm. Yeah, I actually had to go through this like whole awakening thing several times, and whenever I would be in a relationship, that's kind of when I would fall back asleep, and then the universe would try to wake me up in so many different ways, and it was always so painful. It was always so painful. So this time around, I'm saying, you know what? No more of this. No more of this. I'm gonna start working on myself. I'm gonna start healing myself. I'm gonna start taking the things that are deep within and start healing. Start healing. And if you think about your energy, right? If you think about your energy, everybody has energy. Okay, everybody has an energy that radiates out of them. And imagine the energy that you are radiating where it is attracting partners that are toxic for you. Like if you're attracting a narcissist, imagine the energy that you're putting out there that's attracting that into you. And that's why I feel like it's so important to start healing yourself and start doing the shadow work because you want to cleanse your energy. You know what I mean? You want to like clear it. You want to raise it to a higher vibration, the energy, the vibration of like love. And that way, when you do attract someone into your energetic field, they're going to be vibing at that energy field too. Because if they're not going to be attracted to you. You're not going to even meet each other. He stole so much of my root chakra. It's closed now. All of them are closed. um yeah, so that can happen. Like traumatic experiences can close down chakras for sure. Even the heart chakra. Like imagine all the stuff that we have deep in there, right? Sorry for the typos. I'm excited because you're talking about my life. You have to tangle through the pain to heal. Honestly, you got to just face it. You got to just face it. There's no escaping from it. The more you try to push it down, the more you try to hide from it, run away from it, distract yourself. Think about distracting yourself. You know what I mean? Think about all the ways that we try to, um, what is that word? What's that word? Medicate ourselves. Think about all the ways we try to medicate ourselves. And it's only going to work for so long. You know what I mean? Like drugs and alcohol is only going to work for so long. Distracting yourself in certain ways is only going to work out for so long until it catches you somehow. But ultimately, I also feel like to get out of this rut, you have to believe that You deserve more. You deserve more. Why I keep having dreams about me dying, but nothing happens? So part of the awakening is to, in some cultures, they call it like killing of the ego. Like you experience a little death, an ego death. In some cultures, in some philosophies, they believe that, and they believe that there's a little death, an ego death. So maybe that's why you're dreaming about dying. I have a problem with putting my worth only on my accomplishments, and when I can't, I feel useless. Yeah, and I feel like that's part of like conditioning. I feel like that's, and especially in the like Western society, we're very conditioned in that way. So sometimes you'll hear people say that part of healing or part of your spiritual journey is to unlearn, unlearn certain things. And if you think about it, you work really hard, you accomplish something, and then you feel empty again. And then you go out and you do something else again, and then you feel empty again. That's because where you put your value, it's something external. It's something where you want to obtain, that you want to receive and get somehow. And I think part of the spiritual journey is to find what's what we value within ourselves as opposed to externally. And I do feel like that's where true fulfillment is. Is when we can start validating ourselves, when we can start filling up our heart, our bucket, and stop relying on other people to do that for us. Because whenever, as long as we continue to rely on other people to make us happy, to fulfill us, to give us love, I believe that you will always be shorthanded. You will always be shorthanded if you depend on other people to give you love, joy, peace. And think about it. Think about the billions of people on this earth. Hey, Darlene. Hello. Think about the billions of people on this earth. And imagine that you are expecting the billions of people on this earth to make you happy. That's a lot of people that you would have to control. That's a lot of people that would need to be in order, like align with you somehow to make you happy. That's a lot of people. Like you might leave your family and then you find yourself in a group of people, group of friends or something, and you feel the same way. You feel unfulfilled, you feel like you're attracting the same kind of people. And it's because we need to change, we need to clean out our energy. We need to clean out our energy. We need to heal ourselves first. And we need to find the value within ourselves. Because if we continue finding the value outside of us, then I don't know, I feel like it's always going to be short. Hello, Gina. So that's kind of my little rant about spiritual journey. I kind of want to open it up for Q&A for the next however long. You can ask me anything about your spiritual journey. But I can feel energy you're thinking. That crazy? I can feel your energy. Yeah, so we're all made up of energy and we all have an energetic field and we radiate energy. We have energy that we are exuding. And other people can feel that. Other people can feel that. Do I think it's crazy that you can feel energy? I do not think it's crazy that you can feel energy. I actually think many of us feel energy, but we're just not aware that we are feeling energy. We just think that's normal or that's a part of life or that's something else. But if you really pay attention to it, it's kind of interesting how you can really feel how someone else is feeling. You can feel the heaviness or the lightness of a room. You can feel when you meet a stranger if they um if they feel good or not. Like you can feel that. And that's your intuition, that's your intuitive abilities. That's your way of being able to sense and know things about places, people, things. If I tune in, I could feel the energy of this entire group if I wanted to. And you have the ability to do that too. Like we all have the ability to do that. That's why sometimes like in our society we kind of like we kind of hate on sensitive people or sensitivity. Sometimes I feel like that happens. And I think sensitivity is cool. I think once you learn how it benefits you and how you can use it for your benefits and the benefits of others, I think it's pretty awesome. And I think sensitivity is part of being intuitive as well. It's when you start attacking other people or you start blaming other people for your sensitivity. I think that that's when uh, it doesn't feel good for anyone. And weird, you can define weird as like the supernatural ones. If you grew up and people told you you're weird, I see that as a good thing. It's like to me, it's like you're supernatural. If you're weird, you're supernatural. Yeah, and if you ever feel bad about yourself being sensitive, it's because you haven't maybe one you haven't really mastered your emotions in the sense of being able to feel it, and the more sensitive that you are, the more you can feel things. And it could be kind of heavy and hard for someone who's not very trained at it or thinks it's like negative. If you judge the fact that you feel things so sensitively, and you judge it, it could make it not very pleasant. But I'm very sensitive, and now, when I feel things, like I just feel it. I just feel it, and I try not to attach myself to whatever I'm feeling. I just feel it, and I don't put myself down for feeling it. I don't judge it. I don't criticize it. So try that. Yeah, Darlene was in this week in the last 3 days. Darlene was actually in one of my classes where we teach where I teach people how to intuitively like develop their intuitive abilities, and also learn how to heal, which is pretty cool. I'm very sensitive, and I'm always told myself how I have control on me and not in others. I'm very sensitive, and I'm always told I have to I have control on me and not others. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like when it's difficult to be around sensitive people, it's when you feel like you're getting attacked and blamed. And I don't think that's healthy either. So if you're someone who identifies as being very sensitive, process it, feel it, release it. If you're very sensitive, it's I think it's really important to develop like a ritual, some kind of routine where you're releasing the sensitivity. You're releasing the energy somehow. And I also think that if you're very sensitive, that you have the ability, which is a gift, to transmute energy. You can sense energy, you can take it and transmute it, meaning you can, like if someone comes up to you and tells you about something traumatic that happened to them, you have the ability to help them take that energy, cleanse it, so that they can feel lighter. I don't. It might be too deep there. um, you drive a truck? No. Although I do want to get a truck, but I don't drive a truck. Is it okay to cry? Yeah, it is completely okay to cry, and I have to say that I actually didn't cry for many many years, 10 plus years. I did not cry, and it's because when I was young, I was taught that crying was not okay, and I would be punished for crying. So I just always developed this habit of not crying, and I would just suppress everything. I would suppress everything, and let me tell you, when it couldn't handle it anymore, it came out. And it would not stop. I think I started crying for like years straight after that. But crying, yes, release it. Crying is energy. Release that energy. Thank you for the heart, by the way. How long has it been since you started your spiritual journey and what made you start? You know, they say I didn't choose this life chose me. I would have to I have to use that quote here. Um I don't know many people, and myself included, I did not grow up thinking or wanting to be a psychic, to be a healer. Like I didn't even think I could be. And that's not something I grew up wanting to do or wanting to be. I went through, I don't know, it was a weird, it was 10 years ago. There were several things that were kind of hinting at uh there were several things like I started to be like for example, one time a friend of mine put this bracelet around my wrist, okay? And mind you, my friends had never seen me cry up until this moment. They have never seen me cry. They placed this bracelet and it was an Om bracelet. OM. It was an Om bracelet. And the moment they put it on me, I started crying. I started crying. It was the weirdest thing. And then shortly after, I went through this pretty traumatic heartbreak, and that's kind of what propelled it forward. That was about 10 years ago. I understand you 100%. Awesome. I'm glad. Um, so, what does 444 mean? The thing about numbers is that I'm starting to see that these these numbers that we see often, they don't you can give it your own meaning. So like for me, whenever I see 444, I associate it with abundance. But you can give 444 your own meaning. And then whenever you see 44, you'll be like, "Oh, that's what it means." Like if 444, if you said, "Okay, you know what? I'm going to say 444 means that someone's thinking about me and someone's sending me love. Then every time you see 444, you just know someone's sending you love. Give it your own meaning. And then I think that the universe will meet you there. Give it your own meaning, and then the universe will communicate with you in that way. As opposed to seeing 444 and then wondering what the meaning is, and then identifying the meaning externally. Like you identify the meaning instead. And I think it would be cool to see what happens after that. I notice when when I cry, my anger cools down. Yeah, totally. It's like a release. It's a release. And then tears, I also feel like tears is a way of transmuting the energy that you're feeling. If it's like anger that you're feeling, or if it's sadness, you're transmuting that energy through your tears. Yeah, number 17 is my lucky number because I see it everywhere. Exactly. Like you're saying, you know what this number means? Luck. And you can say 1101, 1111 means manifestation. Give it your own meaning. Give it your own meaning, and I feel like the universe will communicate with you on how you identify it. Define it, how you define it. How can I transmute energy for helping healing somebody? So, as a beginner, as a beginner, and I remember I learned this when I was first learning about energy. One of the things that you can do is you can just kind of imagine that there is this invisible light, this energy, this healing energy that's coming from the universe, that's coming from source energy. And imagine that this energy is coming down and healing whatever it is that you're trying to heal. If it's heaviness in the heart, just imagine that the energy is going to the heart. If it feels like a heaviness in the throat or in the chest, imagine that the energy is going into that place and clearing and cleansing it. Your imagination is very powerful. Your imagination is very powerful. And if you can visualize it, you can transmute the energy. You can even say, I transmute it, delete it, transform it, and I send it to Mother Earth to be purified. You can even say those words, that this energy be transmuted and sent to God, or this energy is transmuted and sent to the universe, or this energy is transmuted and sent to Mother Earth to be cleansed and purified. And then see what happens afterwards. I remember when I was a beginner, someone told me to do that. And I was like, is this really going to work? But there were times where I did try it. And I would notice a shift. I would notice a difference. But keep bringing that energy in until you can feel it shifting. It might feel like it's dissolving. It might feel like it's lightening up, like it's getting lighter. It might feel that way too. Yeah. So if your friend is going through like something, if you want to help your friend heal, um, ask them, like, if they're feeling angry, just ask them, where is the anger located on your body? Or if they're feeling really sad, ask them, where is the sadness located on your body? I actually read a book on the power of healing, and I think it actually worked on my hurt dog. Amazing. Amazing. You're a healer. You're a healer. I remember one time my friend was drunk. My friend was having a really bad hangover. And I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work, but let's just pretend that it will work. And I remember putting my hand on her head, and she like immediately right after she like popped up and she was like, "No way, like that's so weird. I don't feel drunk anymore." or she wasn't feeling like the hangover symptoms. And someone can say, you know what? Well, maybe it's a placebo. Well, so what? If it is a placebo, but they feel better, then who cares, right? Why does it matter? Why does it matter? Something's working. Something's working. Has anyone experienced any going through your spiritual journey and through your awakening, has anyone became like more sensitive? Is anyone more sensitive? Because I remember when I started meditating pretty regularly, like daily. I would meditate. I would meditate during my lunch break. And during those times, I remember feeling really sensitive. And then that's kind of one of the reasons why I stopped meditating, because I was becoming too sensitive. Like I was so sensitive. But now I see that I just didn't have the tools on how to handle everything that I was feeling. OMG, I am now more. I have been predicting stuff and it's coming true. My hubby's scared. That's pretty cool. So, predicting, another way of thinking about predictions is like prophesizing in a way too. So how does it come to you? How does this information come to you? Does it come to you with like an image, or does it come to you through a sense of knowing, or does it come to you through your dreams? Like how does it come to you? How does this information come to you? Oh, you're manifesting. Are you manifesting the outcome? Is that what's going on? I close my eyes and things come true a day or so. Okay, yeah. So that, yeah, it definitely sounds like you're manifesting there. I remember one time I was manifesting for something. Oh, this is in the beginning of like everything. I remember a friend of mine was we did this like meditation and to manifest something. And I was like, "You know what? I just want to manifest some pizza. I'm going to manifest some pizza." And I kid you not, like I think the very next day, we go to this crystal store, and outside of the crystal store was someone giving away free pizza. It doesn't always happen that way when I manifest, but it happened during that time like that. I became more empathic with an innocent. I came more empathic with an innocent person who never has any support to heal. So your empathic abilities came out more when you're trying to help support someone heal. I think that's beautiful. And the thing is that if you're here, you're probably a natural healer in some ways. You're probably a natural healer in some ways. Do you think dreams have meanings? So the thing about dreams is that when you're in a dream state, you don't have all these words and chatter and things that are blocking messages or things from the spiritual world as you normally would if you were awake. And that's why sometimes people have these vivid dreams, or they get messages, or they see certain things or certain people that have passed in their dreams. And I think the universe speaks to us in our dreams sometimes. So do I think that dreams have meaning? Yeah. Yeah. I try not to get attached to dreams though. Like whenever have a vivid dream, I just go, "Oh, okay." Like that's it. I try not to dwell on it or think about it for too long because it is what it is. There are times where things are easier to manifest. If you want to test it, start small. Yeah. And the reason why some things are easier to manifest is because we don't have a lot of barriers to it. But if you want to manifest $1 million tomorrow, you probably have a lot of beliefs. You probably have a lot of beliefs, a lot of things that are blocking you from that. But if you wanted to manifest, let's say, a book, if you wanted to manifest a book, it would probably be more likely that it could happen for you because you may not have a lot of barriers, that things that are blocking you. I wanted to communicate with my loved ones, and my stepdad came through and thought, "Oh man, it's you." Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. I wanted to communicate with my oh, I read that. Practicing ball, and this dragonfly came and watched him for a while. Hmm. Oh wait. My son's father passed away, and the dragonfly was popped up all the time while my son was practicing ball. That's very interesting. Our loved ones can come to us in so many different ways. Like they can choose whatever body, whatever look they want. They can show up as lights, they can show up as an orb, they can show up as a feeling, a scent, a touch. They can show up in so many different ways. But I always, I trust what comes through for me. Like if I smell something and it smells like a rose perfume and I immediately think of so and so, I immediately think of my grandma, let's say. I trust that. I trust that. I don't just say, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. But why not? Why not? Why can't we trust it? Why can't we just say, yeah, it is my grandma? So if you saw a dragonfly come by and you feel that it's associated with um the father, your son's father, okay, maybe you're right. Take it. Yeah. It was crazy. I said, "Oh, look, daddy is watching." And the dragonfly tilted its head in agreement. Wow. Wonderful. I love that. I asked for signs from my guides, but I don't get them. Might I be blocked from connecting to them? Your guides, okay, so here's the thing. Everyone has spirit guides and everyone has guardian angels. Think of it as your own basketball team, and they are all here supporting you. They're all here supporting you through life and guiding you through life. And if you're connecting with your spirit guide and you don't feel like you're receiving the signs or messages, it probably just means that you may not be aware of what to look for. It's kind of like if they email you, but you're checking your iPhone. If you're checking your phone, but they're emailing you, or they're sending you a package, you might miss that. You might miss that. So, what I like to say is get to know yourself, get to know how you get to know get to know yourself, meaning ask yourself, are you someone that daydreams a lot? Are you someone that visualize a lot? Are you someone that has vivid dreams? If so, maybe they're communicating with you through that in that way, through visualizations, through pictures. If you're someone that likes auditory things, like you like music, you have a lot of thoughts in your mind, sometimes you have conversations in your head, maybe they're communicating to you that way. Or if you're someone that's very sensual, like you can feel things sensitively in or around your body, maybe they're communicating to you in that way. But they communicate to us in whatever way that uh, it's like natural for you, something that's like uh, intuitively strong for you. And if you're still not getting the message, you can just ask them, hey, uh, if you want me to go down this path, show me a blue butterfly. Show me a sign that is so obvious I cannot miss it. I love using that one. I love using the one that's like, yeah, show me that it's so obvious I cannot miss it. Watch Life After Death on Netflix. Yeah, I keep on hearing about that. I haven't watched it yet, but I keep on hearing about that. But I heard about the story about um the father was like writing to the son or something like that. Yeah, I think it's completely possible. Um Hello everyone. Okay. So, oh, Surviving Death. That's the one I was thinking about. I don't know about Life After Death. Sorry. I got it mixed up. I got it mixed up. Before I head out today, hey Bonnie. Before I head out today, I kind of want to do a little bit of some energy cleansing for everyone here. And anyone who watches this replay afterwards, I'm gonna post it on my YouTube channel, so check it out if you haven't already. I'm gonna start putting more long formatted content on YouTube, like meditations. If you want to meet your spirit guides, if you want to meet your ancestors, things of that nature, I'm gonna put it on YouTube. So follow me there, or subscribe, follow, yeah, or not. It's okay too. Um, I can feel people's emotions. I know how they feel about me. Yeah, that's a psychic ability. That's an intuitive ability. It's tapping into your empathic abilities. So let me think. Hold on. Okay. So if you're up for it, I just want everyone to close their eyes if you feel comfortable. If you're in a safe environment, to close your eyes. And then I'm going to download. I'm going to bring in the energy of I'm going to bring in the energy of calmness. Okay? I'm going to bring in the energy of calmness. So if you would like to receive this energy, just say yes. And I'm going to bring in the energy of calmness. That you can and that it's possible for you to feel calmness. And that your definition of calmness also matches the universe's source energy's definition of calmness. If you accept that, just say yes. And imagine that this energy is melting away anything that's stressing you out, anything that you're holding on to, anything that you're carrying, anything that you're worried about, anything that's heavy for you. Just imagine that this energy is just melting it away, dissolving it like sugar in water, just releasing it, transmuting it from all time, space, and dimension, and sending it back to Creator's light to be purified and cleansed. And if you would like that, just say yes. Did you feel anything different? I feel lighter. I feel more calm, content. Yes, yes. Warmth in the area. I was healing. Very good. Awesome. And that's how beautiful, like, that's how fast it can happen for you. Like, whatever energy that you want to feel, sometimes we go through life and we're just feeling whatever's coming at us, right? We're just feeling whatever's coming at us. But you can actually tell the universe, hey, release this energy and replace it with what you really want to feel. Maybe it's calm, maybe it's focus, maybe it's groundedness, maybe it's love, maybe it's joy, peace. Yes, I could visualize everything going small and just a small, tiny light. Beautiful. That felt nice. Yeah, and if you're a sensitive person, you could feel it. You might feel like tingleness, you might feel something's melting, you might feel it lighter, you might just feel just calm. I envision my worries as the sugar dissolving in the water. That was calmness. Awesome. Cool. What's your YouTube? I don't actually have a specific like URL because I think you need a certain amount of subscribers until you can like get a customized like URL. But you can go to my TikTok and just click on the YouTube icon there. Yeah, and if you're interested in more of these types of meditations or healings or releasings or transmuting energy in some way, check out the YouTube because I think I'll post it there because I can only post 60 seconds here on TikTok. How come when I meditate my eyes go up? Yeah, my eyes do the same thing and I think it's just us being relaxed. I heard the call, but I feel like I need a mentor, someone to help and guide me. Yeah. And now that you're putting that request out there, you're going to receive that. You're going to receive that. Okay. I'm gonna get going now. I haven't had dinner yet, so I'm gonna go and eat dinner. Um, Thank you, Daisy. I appreciate that. I will see if you're interested. I will be back here tomorrow, and you can bring any questions that you have about your spiritual journey. And I think tomorrow I'm gonna do more of a meditation. I might do more something like this, where we can kind of like cleanse the week, cleanse and let go of all the things that we're carrying throughout the week, so that when we go into this weekend, we can have a good time. We can have a good holiday. All right. see you all, and have a good day or evening. What time is it? It's 8. It's like a little past 8 p.m. here. Okay. Bye bye.